Following the security red flags raised by the United States and the UK embassies in Abuja, it is reported that churches took measures to fortify their worship centers. Several churches put internal security measures in place during Sunday and weekday services.
Most soft targets like shopping malls, the central areas, and government infrastructure in the city have been adequately manned by security operatives. Although most of the streets were deserted and church parking lots scanty, residents have remained in their homes. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari will on Monday meet with security chiefs in the nation's capital, Abuja, to further review and strengthen the security network in the country. Joining us this morning to give an update on what the security situation is in the Federal Capital Territory is our new Central Chief Bureau, Amadin Uyi. Good morning, Amadin. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
All right, Amadin, talk to us about the situation. What is the situation like in Abuja? The news and the media is talking about the terror threats. We've seen the US and the UK send notices on their websites, their official website. What is actually the situation in Abuja and how are the people faring through all this?
Actually, in reality, the city is on the edge, and from what we witnessed from last week, following the security threat alert by the U.S. Department of State, the U.S. Embassy, first of all, citizens did not take it too seriously, but when they began to witness security measures within the city center, everybody started trying to be more careful and very, very careful about their movement. From Thursday, we witnessed police helicopters doing air patrols. We also witnessed when we visited the Jabi Mall after it was reopened, we noticed heightened security presence. Even from yesterday till today, we have been seeing soldiers on the street mounting checkpoints on Thursday. And Friday, we witnessed soldiers searching produce trucks coming into the FCT. I will not say the city is on a lockdown, but I will say there is a heightened sense of security right now within the city center.
Can you share with us, how this may have affected businesses across the Federal Capital Territory in the last few days? Malls and the places that normally would be big business areas, have they also been affected?
Yes, when we visited the Jabi Mall to follow up on the lockdown story, we realized that the mall was open, but some shoppers who came around said that they had witnessed a reduction in traffic in the shopping mall. So this invariably is also affecting businesses, as many residents now want to stay at home. There are WhatsApp messages circulating on social media urging citizens to be careful how they move and not to go to places except it's very, very necessary. For now, many businesses are taking the hit as residents just want to remain indoors and don't want to get caught up in any crossfire, if at all there is any.
How would you say the security forces or security operatives are taking this? Now, we hear that there has been some traffic gridlock caused in Abuja as a result of the checks. Would you say that these have increased, and how are the citizens complying?
Yesterday, towards evening, there was a check along the Iwaye Nyanya Expressway, and it caused a severe traffic gridlock, because that is usually our route. We try to leave the house very early as 5:30 today, so that we will not be caught in that traffic gridlock. As early as 6, we witnessed the soldiers, they were already on the road trying to take positions. So indeed, the check is also affecting movement of commuters and movement of business persons. And we tried our best to be able to avoid it. That's why we left very early. But for those who were unable to leave as early as we could, we hear that they are currently in the traffic gridlock, and the soldiers are trying to check the vehicles. Usually in this part of the world, most of these checks are done manually. You see a falling road reduced to one, where the soldiers want to see the occupants of every vehicle moving. So it's really, yes, just like you said, it is the areas where there are checks is causing intense traffic gridlock. And but what can people do? they are just trying to get used to it because of the security threat alert. Some people believe that it's better you waste 1 or 2 hours traffic than to get into town and get caught in a shootout.
Well, Amadin, I also want to get your get a sense, of what people feel about security agencies in the federal capital territory and across the country. Do people, people choosing to stay indoors, is this, maybe showing that they do not trust that Nigerian security agencies will be able to handle and keep the federal capital territory safe? Is this what it says? And, do people from the people you've spoken with, do they trust that the DSS or the NIA or the Nigerian police force itself is capable of completely keeping the FCT safe?
Having covered security agencies for a while and also interacting with Nigerians on the street, I think there is a level of trust. Remember that when the security alert came out from the U.S. Embassy in about 2 days, there were unconfirmed reports that the DSS, in partnership with the police, the army, and even security agencies from the U.S. Embassy, had begun to raid several terrorist hideouts. But the DSS came out to refute it, the police came out to refute it, that there was no such raid. But that to an extent tells you the level of trust Nigerians have on security operatives. Yes, the information has come. It's not the first time we're used to getting these alerts. And also remember that Abuja is not isolated. If you look at events happening in the last 48 hours in Niger State, Kaduna State, there have been this state where our security agencies were able to successfully repel attacks from ISWAP, from Boko Haram, and also arresting several bandits and kidnappers. There is those information sometimes indirectly affects the morale and the confidence of citizens on ground. But with those information coming in now, I think it has given citizens a sense of relief and a heightened sense of hope that our security operatives, security agencies are up to the task. So from my own assessment, I would say that to a large extent, Nigerians now have trust on security agencies that whatever threat is coming from these terrorists and bandits, they can withstand it and they can tackle it or nip it in the bud.
Amadin, are you able to confirm to us how those who are foreigners living and working in Nigeria are taking this as well? We know that there were reports that the United States of America as well as the UK had put out notice telling the citizens that if they did not need to travel to Nigeria, they shouldn't come, or something in that regard. Would you say that there's been a mass exodus out of the country? We also heard reports that some airlines had paused travel, routes between Nigeria and other countries. There were also reports about the embassy in Abuja shutting down. We don't know if you're able to confirm this. And then if you can shed some light on the Security Council meeting that will be convening today later by the President.
Now, first of all, remember that the security threat alert came from a country, the United States of America, that has in terms of a certain level of credibility, you would rate them high. When the threat alert came out, the US said that they were going to evacuate their non-essential staff. 1 or 2 days later, the United Kingdom also released its own. Nigerians ought to have been worried, but Abuja is not just the political capital, it's also the diplomatic capital. We have seen that it's only the US and the UK that have taken these steps to evacuate their citizens. We have United Nations institutions, the UN, UNODC, and others. We have several embassies. We have not witnessed any move by their own consulates or embassies trying to also evacuate their staff. So I would say it's an isolated incident for now. Maybe in the next few days they might join the fray and join the US Embassy and the UK High Commission to do the needful. But as of now, it's not widespread. It's not every international agency that has told this line. It's only the US Embassy and the British High Commission. Other embassies, their staffs are still staying put. The United Nations staff of the United Nations institutions are still staying put. Then coupled with the fact that Mr. President has also called for a security council meeting today to meet with the heads of security agencies to know what they are doing. I think that is also has given these foreign nationals a sense of relief that Nigeria is not just sitting down and casting aspersion on the U.S. Embassy for issuing that alert. Our security agencies, up to the presidency, up to our political leadership, are trying to do something to act on that intelligence information.
All right, Amadin, thank you very much. We do hope that you are safe and the people of Abuja are safe, and that this is just a mere threat, or that it's something that has been brought under control. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.